Now, we have created a new app. Just look very much like a built app. Now, we do not want any of this. Now, how do we go ahead and remove all this? Where is all this? So by default, it creates a component, which is app.component.ts. Components are the building block in Angular application. The whole file is full of components. So how do you see these components? So here is the first component that's there. And the associated HTML is app.component.html. That's right here. Now, this is what brings up the whole content. Let's go ahead and delete the whole content. We should clear up the whole page right here. You can see that there. Just to prove that that's going to be the component, let's add a H1 and say, okay, let's not break the tradition. Let's say hello world. Let's flip. You should be able to see hello world. There it is. So that's how the Angular app works. Now, could you create your own component? Very well, yes. So how do we do it? We're going to go ahead with the simplest way of creating a component. It is going to be ng and then G for generate, C for component, and give the component's name. Now let's call this component product and hit enter. Now you should be able to see the product component getting generated, and it will be 4 files: the HTML file, which is going to be the view, the spec.ts, which is the Karma file that's used for testing, the component.ts, where we're going to write the TypeScript code, CSS file, which is going to be used for the settings. That is the styles. Now you can also see it is updated the app.module.ts. Let's go and find out what updation it is made. So app.module.ts is the module breakup of our application, the main module that's available, which is actually bootstrapped into main.ts. You can notice it here. Now that ensures whatever bootstrap component you're providing here is actually injected in our HTML, which is the index.html app root. Now, if you go ahead and look at the app component.ts, the selector is the element's name. So that's a selector that's being used right there. So that's our HTML injected into the index.ts. Now, after that's over, now we just created a component. You can see the component right here. Now, how do we bring up the component? Now, you notice that it edited our app.module.ts to add the component. So that is the modification that it made in the app.module.ts. So it's declared the component that we created, which means literally we can use it in any other component. So let me go to the HTML of the app. I'm going to say app hyphen and then say product. Now, app is the prefix of all the elements. We already noticed that in our angular.json file. Now, you can see that it brings up product works. That is the HTML that's available right here. Now, you could add the style to the CSS. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's call the class name as product. We'll give a height and width for it. And we could go ahead and see that we provide a border so that we can see the border. Say it's 2 pixels, solid, is red in color, just to show that that's the component that got created and it would come up as the styling. Now let's go ahead and add the class to the HTML. There we go. There we go. So you can see that's a style that's associated with the component.